In the second part of this special two-part series with the Home Minister of India, P. Chidambaram. Tell me this, is there a role that we can play in trying to strengthen secular forces within Pakistan who are trying to battle the Taliban, or would any role played by India be seen as a kiss of death?
Well, I don't know who represents the secular forces in Pakistan.
That's a problem in a sense for us, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, civil society engagement between India and Pakistan is very minimal. You are one among a few people who constantly travel to Pakistan. You're better placed to make a judgment on that. But I don't find secular civil society organizations in Pakistan raising their voice.
Not even now, after the lawyers' movement and the mass involvement of the middle classes in civil society? Is there not there a group or a set of people who stand up for the values that we can share with them?
Some of them are fighting in their own self-interest. Apparently the lawyers and judges are fighting to protect what remains of the judiciary. But I don't find a movement there, which is a broad movement that fights for restoration of secular values, restoration of civilian government in all its aspects in Pakistan.
I don't mean this to sound like a cliche, but how close then is Pakistan to a failed state, or at least a dysfunctional state?
I think many people would call it dysfunctional even today. I don't think it's a failed state, but if it doesn't arrest the decline, it is perilously close to becoming one. It is pretty dysfunctional today.
The British Prime Minister said that 75% of the terror problems that Britain faces originate in some sense out of Pakistan. What extent of the terror problems that concern you as Home Minister of India arise out of that one country to the west?
Almost entirely, except for the insurgency in the northeastern states. Even there one finds the hand of Pakistan occasionally, elements in Pakistan, and the Naxalite problem in some states. All the rest is clearly attributable to infiltration from Pakistan.
If you remove the Naxalites from the equation, practically 100% of the terror problems you face originate in some sense or another, directly or indirectly, from Pakistan.
Or a sister organization of one of the Pakistani militant groups.
As you sit as Home Minister of India, with your principal priority being to ensure the security of this nation, you must look at the map and say to yourself, it's not just Pakistan, although that is the single biggest problem we have, but there is uncertainty in Bangladesh, there is civil war in Sri Lanka, there is political paralysis or turmoil in Nepal. Is India surrounded by a sea of uncertainty and insecurity?
Well, that's an unfortunate, but nevertheless largely correct conclusion. India, we are in a ring of fire. So we have to be on our guard always. We have to protect our democratic institutions. We have to be eternally vigilant.
Is the danger that India faces getting greater? And therefore, is the onerous duty of the Home Minister in some sense also getting greater?
Well, I think terror poses a threat to every country in the world. The last few years, the threat of terror has increased, and we are no exception. If the states surrounding us, the countries surrounding us are more stable, more democratic, better administered, we'll be happier. But I take facts as they are.
Absolutely.
I take the world as they are. And it is true that we are in a very difficult situation, and that's why I've repeatedly said, and I'd like to conclude this interview on that note, we must raise our level of preparedness, and we must be eternally vigilant.
One last question. If the ring of fire, as you describe it, continues to blaze, how long can it be that India, caught in the middle, won't begin to catch fire itself?
No, it won't, because we have very strong traditions. Our democracies have taken deep roots. We have political parties that put the nation first. And we have a very sensible electorate which knows who to put on government and who to throw out of government.
But should we then be taking steps to put the fire out ourselves? Should we be involving ourselves in
We
the
try
fire?
to help. We try to help. When people ask our help, we'll help them. We've helped in bringing multi-party democracy to Nepal. I believe in a way we have helped or encouraged the return of multi-party democracy in Bangladesh. We are willing to work with Pakistan, provided Pakistan dismantles the terrorist infrastructure and does business with us as two civilized nations.
So as you
should
look
do
to,
business.
As you look to the future, are you calm and assured, or do you have certain tensions which you may not want to express, but which you know exist?
No, I'm very calm and very composed. I'm confident that whoever sits in this chair, the chair of the Home Minister, will defend India's interests, will take care of India's internal security.
Regardless of who that person may be?
Well, I think anyone who sits in this chair will rise to his responsibilities.
Regardless of his ideology or his party politics?
Well, I think people will decide who should be put in that chair.
So at the end of the day, you're saying to me that the elections will pass off peacefully, we need
yes, yes. Elections will pass off peacefully, and I want everyone in this country to come out and vote.
Mr. Chidambaram, a pleasure talking to you.